I came across a video where a woman was stating that she literally partnered up with her grandmother to do sihr, black magic, on her best friend to switch destinies and to.
I have to keep reiterating this because this is not a joke. If you know anybody that's doing dark arts or black magic, please do your best to not befriend them. Because the minute that they see something that you had that they want, they have all the reason to use that black magic and dark arts on you. And I am a victim of a destiny exchange, and it is one of the most horrifying, terrifying revelations that you can make, because someone ultimately wants your life and wants your blessings and potentially willing to do anything for it. And if you are a victim, or you think you are a victim of a destiny exchange, you have to understand that it's not just going to happen through active magic or dark arts. Witchcraft comes in many forms: jealousy, bullying, manipulation, intimidation. And if you fall victim to those things, that person can take what's yours spiritually. And you have to understand, your blessings can literally be transferred to that person. I'm not saying you gotta hate people, but you gotta stay away from them most of the time. But let me let you in on a little secret. Anybody that steals from you, including something as big as a destiny, those people eventually are not going to know what to do with their destiny. They're going to be completely oblivious and miserable, that they're never going to have peace until they confess what they've done and how they treated people over the years. So if you're looking for a way to get your blessings back, you never fight witchcraft with witchcraft. You get in alignment with God, because if you do that, it's only going to make things worse. If you do witchcraft in any form, just like the person did to you, then you're no better than that person. Please get in alignment with God. Pray for them, even though it's probably going to be the hardest thing for you to do because of how much they got away with. And then the blessings will start rolling in. And when they roll in, the harvest will be so overwhelming because of how long you had to go without your blessings that belong to you. They will all come at once. It'll be like they never stole them. Be at peace and move on with your life.
Now, have you ever heard of those wild stories about black magic in Africa? They're intense, and there's one video that has everyone talking. The video starts off talking about how black magic, or voodoo, is kind of a big deal in some parts of Africa. People take it seriously and for good reason, but here's where things get super creepy. There's this guy, a regular man minding his own business, but he gets into some beef with a voodoo priest. It's not a good move, and after their clash, he just kind of vanishes without a trace. His family's freaking out and searching everywhere, asking the neighbors and checking every nook and cranny. Days turn into nights, and there's still no signs. Hope is fading, and whispers about the priest's revenge begin to spread. And one day, someone hears a faint sound coming from a wall in the family's own house. A wall that they've walked past 1,000 times. They get closer, and the sound gets more clear. It's a muffled voice of their missing family member. The family's in shock, and they begin chipping away at the wall, and what they find is straight-up nightmare material.
I find it funny when people come on social media and start joking about Judge, and they haven't experienced it. Like, as somebody that's experienced Judge firsthand, I can tell you it's actually no joke. So I grew up in Zimbabwe, and if you grew up in Zim, you would have been taught about these roosters that are owned by people they're called Varoi, which is like basically like they practice like witchcraft, and they usually have like a red string tied to their leg. Basically, there were like two that used to roam around in the area that I lived in, and obviously as a youth I was told like leave them alone. Like when you see them, don't touch them. They never explained the reason why. They just said like if you see it, leave it alone. Not me being a youth, like if you don't give me a proper reason, obviously I'm gonna get curious, you get me? So one day, me and my boy made one of these. You Westerners call it a slingshot. We call it a reken. Me and my boy, we were just out for blood. We were just out doing a mazza, just hitting any and everything. And one day we saw these two chickens in it. So yeah, we see the two chickens and we just run up on them and just start hitting. I get one hit on the body and like the chicken is still alive in it. And my boy, he gets a clean shot himself and hits it in the head, and it just drops. And when we hit it, we ran away because we thought someone was gonna come and like shout at us, but no one came. And the chicken literally laid there for like I think a couple of days before. I think a wild dog just came and took it. Anyway, we didn't say anything. We didn't mention it to anybody. Now, this is the scary part. For, I think, a month after that happened, I started having night terrors. And when I say night terrors, I mean like I used to wake up sometimes with nosebleeds, like sometimes in night sweats, just panicking, like terrified for my life. And the dreams I had were like so bad. Like sometimes it would be like me passing away or like a close family member passing away. And these dreams were intense. Like whenever I saw somebody passing away, I would literally wake up screaming, like panicking. And I didn't mention it to any of my family members. I just mentioned it to that one friend. And he said to me that he had something similar happen a couple of times, but you know, he would just wake up and he would be like paralyzed. He wouldn't be able to move and he would be seeing things in his room. Sometimes he would be like feeling something touching him. Obviously describing sleep paralysis, but we didn't know what it was back then. Anyway, this happened for like another month. That happened to me. And then shortly after that, I moved to the UK. And when I moved to the UK, no word of a lie, God struck me down if I lie. 2 months after, my friend passed away. And as soon as that happened, the night terrors stopped for me. It's something I think about often, and I pray it was God's timing and we didn't just bring a curse upon ourselves. But like, yeah, this shit is real, yo. Like, stop playing with Judge. I promise you it's real.
Let me share with you a short story. I'm not gonna say no names, right? I had a family member back then. I was a teenager. You know, I was I remember it now. I could remember it now, but I was I didn't have a child yet. I was very, very young, and this particular family member a long time ago had gave me a gift, and you know, and she said, you have to put this on you when you go out and stuff like that. And I was so excited and happy when that family member gave me that gift, because I was like, oh, you know, this is the first time, you know, they gave it me. And mind you, I was a teenager. I was still in high school. And I remember putting the gift on. The first night, I started breaking out. My whole chest was breaking out. My whole entire chest broke out. I remember it now. And the fact that, you know, she kept saying, you know, I had to put this on, whatever, it's good for me, it's for protection, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, and I was a kid, I didn't know any better. So I, you know, even though it was making me uncomfortable, I still put it on. So the second day I put it on, I felt like I couldn't breathe, you know, and it was like kind of like a powder thing. And I loved it because, one, I love pink, and two, I love the smell. And she knew that. So, keyword, if you love something, pay attention to when people give you gift. So when she gave it to me, I remember I opened it and it was already open. Usually when those things come, it comes with a plastic over it. And when the one that she gave to me, it didn't have the plastic over it. So that means it was already open already. And when I opened it and I opened the thing that, so when I opened the cover, I saw a bunch of little black stuff in it, but you know, she did, and I remember I was like, oh yeah, she did say it was for protection, so I'm guessing, okay, well, there's something in there for me that's supposed to be protecting me. Long story short, I put it, after that second day, the third day, something kept telling me, stop putting that thing on, throw it away. And I felt so bad because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to throw this away. This is a gift and it's for my protection, you know, I don't want to do this. And there was something, that's when, because I always knew, you know, I was a little bit different. And I think she knew that, you know, she saw it. You know, she saw it at a young age, you know, but I didn't really understand it at the time. And so she gave it to me, and I remember when everyone fell asleep, I went, I got it. There was like a trash. I went outside and I put it in the trash light. To switch destinies and to switch mindsets.
Hi beautiful people, I hope you have an amazing day. I know most of us have seen that video going around, and I want to share my story. I don't know why I'm so happy about it, but I'm glad that we're not in this alone and that we are able to share our experiences so we can learn. A few months back, I was paying someone $30 a month so they can share their story, their knowledge with us, and so I can grow and learn and heal. And it comes to find out this person was or is siphoning energy from anyone that she could do it from. And that's why we gotta learn how to trust ourselves, our intuition, what we believe in. No one can really teach us what is already inside of us. We just gotta make the time, invest the time on yourself to hear, to learn, and take it slow. And it took me a minute to really process things because I did trust this person. I thought I was really gaining more than just the knowledge, if I might say. But right now, I just take it as a lesson. We're all learning and growing, and I fucking love it. Continue to be on your journey and honestly trust your intuition. That's what's going to help us get where we desire to be. And ever since me dropping this person, their fucking class, I've been feeling a lot better about myself. I know who I am, and I'm no longer tired, because when people are siphoning your fucking energy, you get sick, you get tired, and you don't know what's going on in your life. So keep this stuff in mind. I'm just a person sharing my story as well, but it did happen to me, and it's still happening to a bunch of people. Speak up for yourself. Again, trust you. Nobody else knows you better than you know yourself. And that's something that I got from that class. No one ever can come to me and tell me something about me that I don't know, you know? And it's beautiful, and I'm grateful still, very grateful, because look at me, I'm shining, I'm thriving. Believe it or not, I am, because I found that within me. Just because I had to go through that experience, I hope you guys don't have to. But there it is. Have a wonderful day. Much love. Stay shining.
You would be surprised at the people who envy you without you doing absolutely nothing to deserve it. Story time. This story was submitted by Mello. This all started back in 2020. Mello had just moved to a new state where she had started a new boarding school. Once her grades came up, Mello was upset to find out that she had actually failed all of her classes, which was shocking to her because she has always been a very good student and has never struggled when it comes to school. Then COVID happened and everybody had to go home and do online school. Her teachers were getting worried because Mello kept failing class after class. At this point, she became depressed. One night, she had been up late studying when at about 2 a.m., a very elderly woman woke her up. When Mello woke up, she was met by this elderly woman shouting in her face, telling her to go close all of her books and put something heavy on top of them to protect them. Mello was confused by this request, but without even realizing it, she got up, closed her books, and covered them up. The next day, she calls her mom and tells her about her experience. When she described the elderly woman to her mom confirmed that that was in fact her great-grandmother who had passed away. Now fast forward a month later, her mom ends up taking her to a healer because things were still just not adding up. When she walked in, the first thing the healer told her was that someone had done black magic on her to get her to fail all of her classes. The healer then gave Mello a lotion and a powder that she can rub on herself that would protect her while she was at school. Mello was in shock and couldn't believe that there was someone out there that was practicing dark magic just to get her to fail. Her mom has always been very intuitive and she was able to figure out who this person was. As it turns out, this person lived only 3 houses away from them, and it was the grandmother of one of Mello's friends. Mello ended up getting cleansed. Once she was cleansed, fast forward 3 weeks, that old woman ended up falling in the shower and...
This is a true black magic story, and it happened in 2011 in Manchester. I witnessed it with my own eyes. I saw it. I was shocked. Was I shocked? No, because I know this person was capable of that. I think she was very... this tea. They're going to be watching this and they're going to be like punching the screen. I'm scared. I ain't scared. Hang on, let me start again. Anyway, it happened in 2011. There was a mother-in-law and her daughter-in-law had gone to Pakistan. And this girl, when I say is pure evil, I've never met anyone as corrupt as this person. And the most corrupt human being I've ever met. This is based on a true story, right? I'm not going to mention any names. No names will be mentioned. I'm just sharing an experience. So she's gone Pakistan and she's come back. She's fed her husband. Her husband's gone a bit crazy. He's attacking everyone. And basically the mum's like, my house has fallen apart. I don't know what to do. My kids are all kicking off. She was suspicious of, she had her suspicions on her daughter-in-law. Next minute, you know, she goes, I'm going to put recorders in place everywhere in the house and I'm going to record who she speaks to on the phone. She put a recorder in place and it picked something up, and the mother-in-law played the recording and was shocked. She invited everyone in the area to come and, you know, Panjayat, what they call it, I don't know what they call it, but everyone was there. Even I was there. I can't believe I was there. I was like 19 at the time. And the house is packed. They call the daughter-in-law. She walks in, Salam alaikum. That's how she says it. Salam alaikum. And walks in with a scarf on and everything. And the mother-in-law waits for nothing and she goes ahead and plays the recording. And on the recording it said, she's talking to a magician and she's saying, you've made him go too loopy. He's even attacking me. You know, keep him hitting his mum and dad, but don't let him hit me. And then she says, stop this person from having kids. And then she says, there's a married couple, make sure their marriage breaks. Everyone in the room's like, you know, astaghfirullah, you know, doing all this. And she starts crying, asking for forgiveness. Stupid people, forgive her. Did she stop there? She came back for part 2. She came back with vengeance this time. I'm not going to share the part 2 story, but the thing is, she came back, and trust me, when they forgave her and everything, they got religious people involved. The religious people were like, it's going to be a long thing, contact the magician. The magician said, no, pay me this amount of money, then I'm going to take the magic off. Then what happened was, it died down for a few months, and she came back, and she didn't stop right there, but yeah. Black magic is real. Trust me when I say.
Voodoo spell story time. Let's hop into it. One day my uncle had met this fine woman. So, you know, he had to slide on it, try to get her digits and stuff like that. So they started dating and they was feeling each other. One day she invited him over for dinner and, he went. But while he was in another room watching TV, she was stirring up her favorite dish, her famous spaghetti. But this wasn't just any spaghetti. The sauce had period in it. And she did a ritual/spell. My uncle, not paying attention to the surroundings, he went and ate it. Then they carried on their conversations, watched a little TV, and went to bed that night. He said while he was sleeping, he had these demonic nightmares, but that wasn't just the crazy part. When he woke up in the morning, he stepped foot on the ground. He had a white substance at the bottom of his feet. Come to find out, it was salt. But it wasn't just a pinch of salt. It was a ring of salt around the entire bed. So my uncle shrugged it off, and he continued to date the shorty. I don't know why you would shrug this off though. As time passed, he became more and more obsessive about this woman, to the point where he neglected his family. You very seldomly heard from him. He was off the grid. And they dated for years. And she made that spaghetti weekly. Well, eventually the lady ended up going through menopause and she couldn't make the spaghetti like she used to anymore. So after a while, my uncle became continuously angry, upset, and with her not being able to do the spells that she used to, it would lead to her demise. One day while they was having dinner, he finally snapped. He took a double-barrel shotgun at point-blank range to her face and went on to serve a very long prison sentence. My mama to this day told me to never eat a woman's spaghetti, and I firmly believe in this to this day. Like, comment, share if you want another story time. I'm out.
How African magic is used to find out if you're a thief. Pay close attention to the branches. Do you believe in black magic? After seeing this, I do. He is the thief.